Collector. I'm Theo. I'm here with a special guest today. I'm here with John from 3D80sKid. What's up, John?
Doing great, Theo. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So just to let you guys know, I'm trying something different. This could change. I don't want to be set in stone on what it's going to be, but I want to call it behind the cards, and I want to sit down with some of my favorite YouTube channels and just talk to them a little bit about the behind the scenes of being on YouTube, some of their collection, just kind of conversational style. It's not going to just be me talking the whole time, hopefully. So I'm excited. I've never used a live feature on YouTube before, and John hasn't either. So it's been a learning experience. Um, Me and John probably edit more videos than most on YouTube, so it's a little bit scary for us to be live right now. It should be interesting. But how's everything been going, John?
It's going great. As we're approaching this end of year, reflecting back my first year in vintage, as well as then my first, 4 months on YouTube. And
Yeah.
it's been a great time. So,
Yeah, it's pretty funny. The reason why I wanted to have you first is because pretty funny how our paths have crossed. I've been on YouTube for about 4 months. Also, um, I just got into vintage and didn't have any background on vintage until this year. To be honest with you guys, I don't even remember seeing a vintage card as a child. So I'm learning vintage cards as I watch videos, and I'm learning from a lot of you guys out there. So it's been a crazy experience for me. But let's get into a little bit about John. John, the first thing I want to talk about is your name's 3D80s Kid. Obviously the 80s. You grew up in the 80s, but what's the 3D stand for?
that's what I brought into the fact that I have three kids. And so it kind of is a shortening of triple dad, and the whole 3D craze was kind of a thing in the 80s. So there's kind of that double effect with the meaning there.
Okay, that's really cool. I have two kids, and mine are younger than yours. I know that. So, what do your kids think about you being on YouTube?
They think it is weird. uh, they have no interest in this hobby in the slightest either. So,
Okay. Yeah.
um,
So, see, my kids are on the younger age, and they all think it's cool how many subscribers I have, and they look at that stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you got this many likes on your video." But as you said, my kids, they're both into Pokemon, so there's not really any interest in the actual cards I'm showing. So even your youngest doesn't have like, "Oh, like that's pretty cool. You got all these views," or doesn't really care.
I mean, they think it's interesting that I'm actually getting subscribers and views, and they think that aspect is kind of cool because
Yeah.
it seems like at every point these days, almost every kid thinks, "Oh, I'm going to be a YouTube star as
Right.
a career."
Exactly. Exactly.
And so they've each, at one time or another, made a video or two that and just fizzled out on continuing. So,
Right. Yeah.
um,
So I saw in the one video your wife got some shirts made for you in the channel, which I think was really cool. Um, my wife got this for me for Christmas. I thought that was really nice of her. But what's your wife's opinion about you being on YouTube?
uh, I think she thinks it's good I have something to do.
Nice to have a hobby.
Yeah, and once again, it's kind of one of those things where part of my impetus for going in this direction was, look at these cool cards I've got, honey, and you just get smiling nods. She's
Yeah.
happy that I'm happy, but has zero interest
Right.
in
Right.
it.
I can so relate because and as I said, me and you are so similar. I don't have any friends or family that has interest in cards or vintage cards, and I got to a point where I was enjoying my collection, but I didn't have anybody to enjoy it with, and that was kind of what made me jump on and make my first video. after I saw some other YouTubers. I think actually once I found the Clemente cards and I started being interested, I typed in YouTube top 10 Roberto Clemente cards, and it was funny. It was Lou Rock's video was actually the first video I watched, and then I started going down that rabbit hole of watching some other YouTubers that Lou Rock was connected with, and that's what kind of made me jump in. What made you make the jump into actually filming yourself?
Well, I want to backtrack for a second though. Your story of not having anyone with vintage, I am shocked with your origin story video. The fact that you never discussed cards with your dad until
Yeah,
as an adult. I mean, I was someone who annoyed my dad completely by constantly asking questions. I
right.
mean, when I got into baseball cards as a kid, I annoyed the hell out of him, asking about the cards he would have collected, which, he's one of the millions of kids whose mom threw them away eventually. So,
Right. So, yeah, I know the story doesn't seem to like you said, the story doesn't seem to add up whenever you watch my origin story. My dad, I just found out that he actually collected cards, but my dad works 7 days a week. He's a coal miner, very hard worker. He was very into me playing baseball growing up. He coached all my teams. I remember he had 2 buckets of balls, and we would go down to the baseball field on when he could, and he would pitch to me for hours. And he was very into it. His whole childhood, he played baseball. Um, what it was though, he would buy me packs whenever I asked for them, and my mom would buy me packs, but he never. I don't think he was never that person to bring out old stuff and be like, look at this, look at that. It was it wasn't like that. I just can't explain it, and I never thought to ask him like, do you have anything left? Do you like? It never came to my mind, and he never showed interest in looking at the baseball cards I was getting in the '90s. He just so when he brought up that he had some and he brought them out, to be honest with you, he was like, what's the big deal? He said, we used to flip these. They're just cards. They're just cardboard. So like it was cool. And as we went through them, he started talking to me about the players that came up and how he looked up to them and stuff like that. But like I said, it was kind of like he really didn't like his last set. Like I said, his sets that he gave me was 1960, 61, and 63. So he kind of stopped when he was 13 years old and never kind of went back that direction. So that's kind of I know it might be weird to some people, but it just like I showed him the Roberto Clemente rookie card when I got it. I was so excited, and he was excited for me, but it wasn't like, wow, I can't believe you have one of those now. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's not in his DNA. As weird as
Well,
it sounds.
the incredible part to me is that he still had them.
Oh,
So,
he is very similar to my grandpa. They were pack rats. They didn't think anything should be thrown away. It was kind of like that mentality of like I think living through that time of you have to save everything. You don't ever know what you need. Um, but yeah, I mean he's always taking care of his stuff, and it's actually a good thing maybe that he didn't play with them anymore or anything like that because it would have been worse than I think I got a lot of 4s and 5s on his grades. So yeah.
which is still awesome grades. Yeah,
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
that's what I collect now. I mean, I should be
Right.
called the SGC4 collector because that's all I go after. So yeah. So what about you? About how
Oh,
did you make that
back to your
transition?
question.
Yeah.
Uh, Similar to you, I had no one to guide me into the vintage realm. As a kid, I saw that is some expensive, unattainable thing, and
Hmm.
I honestly still had that impression when I restarted my collecting in 2021. I had no idea of even going into vintage
Yeah.
because those thoughts in my head still as a kid with, oh, those are super expensive. uh, it just seemed daunting and scary.
Right.
So what helped me down that pathway was watching Baseball Collector Golden Age of Cardboard on Bench Media show. uh, And a huge boost to that as far as going to YouTube was when he interviewed Adam of Vintage Sanctuary. Uh, he was a guy who was actually in Portland, Oregon metro area, like myself.
Okay.
And I watched all of Adam's videos, started interacting, and then we started meeting in person. There's a really kind of pathetic show that occurs in Portland once a month. It's got like 2 vintage tables, maybe each. But we use that as an opportunity to meet each other in person, and started talking to him. I kind of had it in my thoughts I wanted to do YouTube anyways, but actually getting to meet someone in person was kind of the extra little kick in the butt to actually start doing it.
Okay.
Because I said it out loud to another person that I was going to do it. So, um, kind of mentally getting me past the fear and the doubt of, oh, I suck. It's going to be awful. People are going to troll me.
Yeah.
My collection is pathetic.
Right.
It's doesn't compare even in the slightest to some of these people.
Exactly.
But I've started my channel then as the journey of me exploring this new thing, really. So everything on my wall was collected in the last year right now. Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of it was funded by the fact that I ended up selling the things I collected the year prior. So that helped boost,
Okay.
made it sort of 2 years of hobby budget going into it as opposed to one.
Did
Uh,
you sell anything that you regret, or did you sell any big cards that like a Michael Jordan second year card or anything like crazy that most people would never sell?
I did not have anything crazy,
Okay.
really. So unfortunately, I never had collected the first couple years of Jordan cards as a kid, so I didn't have them.
Yeah.
Uh, the My basketball collecting as a kid skipped from 81, 82 tops to 89, 90 Fleer. So,
Okay.
um, but
So when you jumped in the hobby, you started talking to Adam. When you met with Adam, at that point you really didn't have a vintage collection, so you kind of just went and met him, and he was telling you what he was collecting, but at that point you still didn't have anything, right?
well, I was starting down that path. I
Okay.
had collected. I really got started trying to buy Willie Mays cards um, as my first thing. I was still figuring out what I was doing. I hadn't pinned down the fact that I liked everything in a tuxedo. Uh, so I,
As
have
I do
a few,
too.
yeah. So I've got a few assorted slabs of other companies. I mean,
Right.
really, when I started, even I purposely bought slabs of every company so I could check them out closer.
Okay.
Um, because when I came back in 2021, it would kind of coincided with PSA shutting down,
Yeah. Me
BGS
too.
shutting down,
Me too.
uh, SGC going to $75 a card to basically shut down. Uh, so my first grading experience was with the super popular now HGA. Um, but
Good job.
it got me a feel for card grading,
Uh-huh.
and it also helped me realize that with having 40-plus-year-old eyesight, I don't really like doing the ultra modern cards when it's harder than hell for me to tell an 8 from a 9 from a 10.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think the grading companies though either, but that's another thing. Um, so that's really cool, and like I said, it's crazy how close our paths were. Well, like I literally in May it'll be 2 years I started collecting Clemente cards and vintage cards. But obviously you've been on YouTube for 4 months like you, and when I got all my dad's cards, I took all the Hall of Famers and I sent them to Nash Cards to send them to PSA. And I believe at the time PSA was $10, $15, and I was the most unlucky person. The next day, PSA announced they were shutting down, and SGC sent, or not SGC, NashCard sent all my cards back to me and said, here's all your cards back. Sorry about that. And then it took me about a month to do research, and then I ended up sending them back to do SGC. And then once I got those cards and SGC holders, I was like, this is awesome. I want to get, my future cards in these tuxedos. So that kind of, like you said, the PSA being closed was actually maybe the best thing for me, because it made me get my cards in SGC, and that's how I rolled from there. So that's really cool. Um, so one of the things I want to talk to you about is your channel really inspires me in a couple ways, and one of the ways is your the start of your episodes. I love that intro. Like, did it take you a while to put that together? It's just
Well,
really cool. I almost paid you to do my intro because I still haven't nailed down what I want yet. And I was like, between you and Iconic Baseball Al, those two intros are my favorite on YouTube right now. So
well, thank you for the compliment, but
yeah,
I have my youngest son to thank for that intro.
nice.
While he has zero interest in my hobby, he did start out as my video editor for my first 4 episodes. And
That's
he was the one who painstakingly made all of the timing for how the clips enter the scene, match the music, and
that's
did.
that's so funny because my daughter was my editor at the beginning also, and then she just got so busy with school and stuff. But it's crazy how much like similarities we have. Um, well,
Well, I think my son didn't like how demanding I was as a director. So
oh, that's funny. That is good. The other aspect of your videos that I've tried to integrate into mine because I like it so much is your video clips you've put in your videos. And I haven't tried to like mimic like exactly how you do it, but I've tried to put one or two clips in my videos because I think it's such a great idea. I don't see anybody else doing it. So I guess first question is like how long does it take you to edit a video adding these clips in? And second off, how do you come up with what clips to put in? Like, so two-part question, I guess.
okay. Well, even to add a third part to back up, I started doing the video clips when it was for the VR response for Baseball Collector for Pet Peeves.
Okay.
And it's one of those situations where it just struck me of inspiration there that to me in my mind that linked up to Festivus from Seinfeld. So uh I then started trying to figure out how to even do the video clips because I wanted to insert them for that specific video.
Okay.
And ultimately I had so much fun making that one that became my style. So
Yeah.
um and initially though, that first video I actually did it where it was like I was directly talking to the clips,
Okay.
the people in them, which was very time consuming to film because then I had to film each little chunk
Uh,
where I'm directly interacting with the clip. So that was a process of finding the clips beforehand and then doing my filming to make
that's
it work
hard.
together.
Yeah, that's hard.
And so then that's where I shifted to the style I'm in now, where I do my filming and then I find the clips that match what I'm saying. And uh, there are actually a few sites out there where you can type in a phrase and it'll come up with all kinds of clips where they say some of those words, and that is my process now.
Oh,
So
that's really cool.
yeah,
I never think of that. What editing program? Not to get too far down the rabbit hole of technical stuff, but what editing programs do you use?
I got this free one. I
You don't remember the name of it?
I don't remember the name of it. I mean,
That's okay.
I use it for hours at a time when I'm doing my editing, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a free software,
Okay.
and there's lots of good ones out there, and it's really just a process of being having enough patience to cut your clips just right, because yeah, I will. I end up being very fastidious with how my insertion of the clips goes, where I don't cut off what I'm saying and I make it exactly at the right moment.
Yep.
Uh, because a lot of the times those clips are actually inserted in really a free form, full length sentence. And I'm clipping it right in the middle of that sentence to insert that clip.
Right.
And I mean, the other thing it does is gives me the opportunity to edit out what you're hearing from me now, which is uhs and ums as
Yeah,
well. So
I don't edit that much. I use a program called VN, and I just like you though. I videotape everything on my phone, but I also edit on my phone. I know you edit on your computer, so we're a little bit different in that way. Um, but I mean, it takes me like 40 minutes if it's a lot of clipping to edit a video at most. But I actually thought about maybe one day doing a video where I just show the real basics of how I edit in case somebody out there is interested. And even if I help maybe one person who makes content, I don't know. I'm sure they still don't want to do it. I didn't know if that would interest people. But how long does it take you on average to edit your videos?
I would say for every 5 minutes of length my videos are, it'll take about an hour or so
Oh my gosh! Wow.
to, to clip it just right how I want it. So
Jeez. Oh my gosh. So you're a Seinfeld fan, right?
I I am a multitude of pop culture fan.
Okay. Well, I got a fun game to play. You didn't know about this. So you're a big Jerry Rice fan. You just started a contest where you're giving away a Jerry Rice rookie card for people to do a VR. So I have a game. It's Jerry Rice or Jerry Seinfeld, and I want people at home to play along. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Which Jerry owns a $17,000 espresso machine?
Oh, I'm guessing that one is Seinfeld.
Yes. Okay, you're one for one.
Because doesn't
Okay.
he have the cars with coffee and comedians or something? Yeah.
Yeah, he said he doesn't like coffee. He likes only espresso, but I mean, that's only what you find on the web, so who
Well,
knows?
most people lump that in with coffee unless they're snooping about it.
Yeah, I kind of lump it in. I do like espresso though. All right, next one. Which Jerry has been doing transcendental meditation for 40 years?
That seems like a Jerry Rice thing for sure. Because
It's Seinfeld.
okay.
I got you that one. All right. This one's easy. Which Jerry was on Dancing with the Stars?
Oh, Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, did he win?
What I think he did win. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
he's obsessive about competing. So
Footwork. Yep. Competing footwork. Yeah. Which Jerry first name is actually Jerome?
I think that one is Seinfeld.
Yes, you're right. Okay. Which Jerry is a big New York Mets fan?
Well, it's Seinfeld. Yeah,
Yep. Okay. Which Jerry?
Hernandez on the show, right?
Yeah. Which Jerry is an avid golfer and golfed in an amateur tournament?
I think I've seen Jerry Rice doing the golf thing.
Yep. So you only missed one so far. I got four more. Which Jerry got a divorce in 2009?
Oh, I'm not like an Us magazine, so this is pure guessing. Seinfeld.
Rice. Uh,
Okay,
yeah, that one was tricky. Which Jerry was born in Brooklyn, New York?
it's Seinfeld.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. Here's one. Which Jerry has a son named Jerry Jr.?
I'm pretty sure it's Rice.
Yep. You got
Yeah,
that one. All right, last one. Which Jerry's middle name is Lee?
I'm thinking Rice.
Yes, you got
Yeah.
8 out of 10. That's a
Okay.
B. That's a B. That's good in my book.
Cool.
Hopefully that was fun.
Sure. Completely unexpected.
Yeah. So why did you pick your biggest collection's 1960s tops? So I believe you collected the whole Hall of Fame run and you just finished. Why
Well,
did you?
clarify that. I
Yeah.
am specific to the base cards because I like the base card design.
Mhm.
So, and I also am specific to player Hall of Famers,
Yep.
but I did not include that one
Uh,
because I so it's just annoying to me. The Bob,
uh,
he
so it's
he
it's
didn't
really
like it.
it's the best
It's
card in the set though.
it's
Come
such
on.
oh
Oh man.
yeah, he's one of the greatest players, but so I still collected. I knew I needed a Roberto, and I wanted one that actually had his name, so that's where I went.
I see Lou Rock likes that card, and I don't like that card. I just don't like the picture on it. I don't look. It doesn't look like a baseball. Doesn't look like a hit like a fielder. It looks like a pitcher. I don't know. I I prefer his last card for sure.
Yeah, that's a good one too, but I
Yeah.
mean, that's where I tried to focus myself with collecting Hall of Famers of particular sets. So that's
Hmm.
where I started with 60. I knew I needed something later to start gathering some of the Hall of Famers who, I might have actually collected some cards at the end of their careers. I'm thinking Yastrzemski, um, some of the guys that, well, Yastrzemski's actually in 60, but he's not a base card. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, so I actually got his 72 because I I just don't like the design they did of those rookie cards in 60,
Okay.
but um and cost prohibitive concerns are there as well. So
Right.
for rookie cards, that's one of the things in my collecting is uh going into vintage. I don't want to break the bank, so I have steered clear of rookie card collecting.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
um
Makes sense.
and now that I finished 60, I'm looking backwards as well. So now I'm delving into 53 Bowman color, which,
Wow.
so,
Is that more affordable than I would think, or is it pretty expensive?
as well, I'm doing it where I'm going to collect the guys I don't have from 1960. So
Okay.
I'm looking to replicate getting another Mickey Mantle like this fake one up here, left over from my Mangini video. But um,
What does I don't even know if you're looking for PSA one or what, but what does a PSA one in that go for now around
for which one?
the mantle? Didn't you say you were thinking
Oh
of buying one?
no,
Oh,
I'm not
okay. I was
going
like, what?
anywhere near that.
Okay.
You know, I after seeing all these people doing their top 50 valuable cards, I mean, I did peek a little bit at what my top ones are,
Yeah.
and I'm not anywhere close to a comma. um,
No, no. I
and
other than my Clemente rookie card, I don't. Yeah, those are the channels I watch, and I feel like I don't know if I can even be on YouTube at this point after watching that
yeah,
video.
and the crazy thing is, my most valuable card, I believe, right now is my SGC one 60 Mickey Mantle, and
Yeah.
uh, it's a case where that one falls somewhere in the range of 200 to 250. I think it would sell pretty well because of the eye appeal of the front,
Yeah.
but no plans to sell, obviously. But
Yeah.
uh, the crazy part with that is that I actually got that one for kind of a steal, in my view, because
Really?
I found it on PWCC weekly auction before all these channels started being sponsored by them. So um, there were
Wow.
actually really awesome deals where I got that one somewhere between $100 and $150. So
Wow. And that was like recent. That was like what, 6 months ago? How soon was it?
it was shortly before, I know, like, Luca Tigers Bronze started hawking the hell out of PWCC. It was within a few weeks before that. So
Well, I I actually used PWCCC before I started on YouTube. To my dad wanted some of his cards sold, so I used it to help sell some of his cards for him, and that was when they were on eBay. And then the whole
yeah,
shill bill, the whole shill billing bidding thing happened, and they got kicked off of eBay, started their own site, and at that point, I kind of soured, and I said, I don't want to go to a site that could possibly be bidding me up, but it sounds like there were some good deals to be had, so that's really
the
cool.
first couple months of them off eBay, there was some great deals to be had, and that's actually how I got my 56 Williams up there as well.
Wow. Well, why don't, since you're saying some of your favorite cards, what are some of your favorite '60s cards that you have?
Well, specifically from 60s tops, I will always have a deep love for um, my first one, Willie Mays. Not
Okay.
is it my first Willie Mays card, as well as my first 60 tops card, both. So, when I initially got into vintage, I didn't know I was going to try to do a Willie Mays run. And so I looked through everything he had and tried to find a balance of affordability with eye appeal to me.
Yep.
And I instantly liked the 60s tops design the best, as well as it being quite a bit more affordable than his 50s cards. So,
That
um,
that four is a great example. It looks beautiful.
and this is not actually my first purchase, though. My first purchase was a 1.5 as a PSA, so much more affordable. Because of my love of the look of the card, I ultimately upgraded this one. It's one of the few things I upgraded even before I decided everything was going to be SGC. So
Wow. I I've been thinking about upgrading my second year Clemente card, and next time I go to a card show, I'm going to take it with me. It's just like it's like I don't know if I have the heart. Like it's a two, and I really want a four, but I'm like I keep looking at it like I don't know. I can live with it. I don't know if I want to, but it's kind of a hard decision sometimes to upgrade a card because I think you're like me. I personally don't like having doubles of cards. I don't understand the appeal when somebody has two cards or something. Like unless you're a seller. Um, a lot of times every time I had a duplicate Clemente, I ended up giving one of them away. Just because
oh,
I'd rather share it. I saw like you're giving away the extra Jerry Rice you have. Maybe are you similar to me? You really don't see much of a point to having a duplicate of something.
completely. To me, I see that as an opportunity, previously to sell and have more funds for a new card.
Right.
But now a fun opportunity to interact with the community is what I'm using that money for now. So,
Yeah, that Jerry Rice is very generous. But we're almost at 35 minutes. I don't like that too long of videos. But what I have here is I have one more fun thing. I have 10 questions. This is going to be lightning round. Um, I have a timer. I'm going to put it up. It's 1 minute. Okay.
okay, you're putting the pressure on.
Can you get through these 10 questions in a minute? Let's see.
I
Okay.
don't.
Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. Try to keep your answers pretty short. It takes me 30 seconds to read all these, by the way. All right.
All right. You give me less time then.
All right. Favorite '60s top set outside of 1960.
Uh, 65.
Okay. Favorite baseball player to collect.
Willie Mays.
Okay. Best mascot in sports.
Mascot. That's not one I've ever even thought about. Who cares?
Okay. Favorite team to watch?
Let's go with the 49ers.
Okay. Favorite video you made so far?
I had a lot of fun with poking fun at Mangini.
Okay. Best movie?
Best movie. That is a wide category. Let's go with the original Star Wars, though.
Okay. Fantasy football, yes or no?
I did it years and years ago, but
Running out of
when I
time.
had kids, I lost track of players.
Favorite chain restaurant? Oh, you're out of time. All right, we'll ask these anyways. What's your favorite chain restaurant?
Chain restaurant. Thinking Chipotle.
That's a good one. Brady or MJ for GOAT?
Well,
John, you got a big one. What are you doing?
I wore that shirt for you because you said you were previously an MJ collector. So
if you say Brady, I'm fine with that.
no, I honestly think it's impossible to judge across eras the most in football.
Yeah.
Because these guys, they can't hit the quarterback anymore. So guy like even Joe Montana lost a whole season because he got hit so viciously.
Mm-hmm.
It shortens a guy's career when you get hit that hard significantly. Yeah. So you wouldn't be having any of these guys playing till 40, whatever the hell he is now, if the defense could have actually hit him his entire career. So
yeah, it's definitely a different game, that's for sure.
And the wide receivers, the defense can't even touch them at all. I mean, they used to jam them at the line of scrimmage during Montana era, and of course before that with
Terry Bradshaw,
they used to beat the crap out of him at the line of scrimmage.
And he won 4 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah. So
the last question was funny. I was hoping I got to it, and you only had a couple seconds left. YouTuber you want to be when you grow up?
Well, honestly, wouldn't anybody love to have the Mangini collection?
Yeah, that's a pretty good shoe-in right there. So I like I said, I'm trying not to make this an hour long. I honestly could talk to you for another 40 minutes. This was a lot of fun. I hope you had a good time.
Oh yeah, me too. I didn't really get enough time to ask my questions of you though.
We can. I'm available. I can do a home and home if you want to do it on your channel, or maybe we can do this again on my channel if you don't. I know everybody has their own thoughts on their channel, so.
Yeah, I'm thinking we need to turn the tables here.
I'm fine with it. I'm very nice of you.
Oh no, it was fun. So
I'll open it on my channel. Okay.
Sounds good.
Well, John, I want to let anybody out there know your channel is very inspiring and it's great, and I definitely love watching it, and it's a must see for me every single time you post a new video. And like you said, you spend a lot of time on the videos, and you can tell. And I'm very much looking forward to getting to know you better in the future here, and I'm excited, and I just thank you for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, and I appreciate the kind words. I love watching yours as well, seeing how you're developing more and more editing features. I've noticed recently, so
I appreciate it, man.
Good stuff.
All right, John. Take it easy, and everybody out there, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.